Welcome to the second semi-final of Latvian Mix Indoor Championships, where we see the local side of Ventspils taking on the Estonians of Ultimate Saku. Earlier in this tournament, these two teams have met in the group stage yesterday, and Ventspils winning that game, I think, relatively comfortably. And but of course we all know that winning twice against the same team is not an easy fit. Gonna be interesting if Ventspils and Salaspils are gonna meet again. So 3 teams from the Group X of this tournament might meet in the semifinals. Well, no, it's actually gonna be the case in any way, because Saku is also was starting in the same group, but both Salaspils and Saku are clearing their crossovers fairly comfortably. Looks like a bit of a confusion on the field of the first gender ratio for the first point. Now finally we have the agreement that it's going to be a female matching point, and the clock is running. Almost 1 minute has gone for that decision, but yeah, we are underway. Of course, Mikulica gonna start us off and field that disc, gets it to Podgurskis, and Skudra with a great pickup. Dudinia was maybe thought that the disc was meant for her. In any case, Skudra with a good pick off and a great score from Mikulica into the end zone. For the first clean hold of Ventspils, 1-0 in the Latvians' favor. Saku actually losing 2 games in the group stage, one against Salaspils and another one against Ventspils. Salaspils are already comfortably in the finals, as they have won their first semi-final in the previous game. You can go ahead and watch that back if you are interested. But Saku now starting their own rotation. Santa Kurmiste quite unhappy with some of the options generated there, and now going with one hand, not an easy grab for her. Marin Raba earlier getting the disc away from defensive pressure of Malderis. Now Saku knocking on the doorstep, almost in the red zone. Loaded with the disc, and Malderis this time knocking that disc away, and together with Vebere Landmane. Malderis swings to Krumina. Krumina to Vebere Landmane, but looks like a bit of a travel. Yeah, travel has been called, or maybe a bit of a pick. Regardless, Kurmiste has adjusted her position. Disc is checked back in. Budinch to Malderis. Malderis to Budinch, and Budinch looking for option, finds Mednis. Mednis taking his first touch and into the end zone for a nice chemistry shot from Mednis to Malderis. Nice score, good break for Ventspils. So Ventspils starting us off with a clean hold and then a clean break. Looks like a few adjustments on the line. Ventspils resting some of their players. D-line, we see Pastore on the D-line, Skudra, Podgurskis with the pull, Mikulica and Malderis. Lilleorg. Looks like a bit of a call there. Looks like a bit of a pick, actually. So Mikulica is discussing if she can catch up with Lepik. Looks like that pass will stand, but Mikulica will have an opportunity of catching up and adjusting her position. Lepik, hammer to get Kevin Kurmista. Swing to Lauritz. Lauritz to Marin Rava. And a swing to Lepik. Lepik can't really find anything in the end zone. Goes to get Kevin Kurmista. Swing to Lilleorg. And Lilleorg to Marin Rava. And Marin Rava into the end zone for number 43, Lauritz, for another score. But no, looks like there's going to be a discussion. We can see the replay what happened. Now looks like a bit of a push-off maybe earlier. So it's going to be, looks like a foul contest. Yeah, maybe a slight push-off there. Foul contest. Looks like we're going to go back to Marin Rava. Stall is going to be 3. Gundika Pastore being asked to raise her hand by the sideline. So a swing to get Kevin Kurmista, and it's going to be a foul, no contest. Looks like Podgurskis thought that the disc is going to be released a little bit earlier. Apologetic, no harm done. And get Kevin Kurmista. Gonna get the disc back. Swing. Pressure from Malderis. Oh. And yeah, tons of pressure from Skudra on Lilleorg. But he gets the disc back. A hammer into the end zone for Marin Rava. And Ventspils conceding the first point. First clean hold from Ultimate Saku. Looks like a bit of a discussion still between Malderis and Lauritz regarding what happened earlier in the point. If there was a push-off, it was maybe a slight push-off. I don't know if that affected the defensive position of Malderis. Regardless, it's still a point for Saku. Good slap of the hands. Good to see the good spirit and yeah, outstretched hand of Edgars Budinš going to signify that that disc was a little bit too high, so it's going to be brought to the brick mark by him. Marked by Lepik. Interesting mismatch, but looks like a bit of a zone. So Pastore managing to hold on to that disc just in. Swing to Budinš. Now another swing to Krumina. Krumina. Emphatic fakes, but goes sideways. And Lepik almost getting a hand on that disc, but Pastore is in front and getting a reception. Krumina. Wide open, and an errant throw from Krumina, an unfortunate one. Budinš was not able to react on that, and Budinš gonna set up the defense and get on the mark of Lilleorg. Lilleorg, swing to Lepik. Back to Lilleorg. Now Freddy Raba gonna get involved. Nice play to Lauritz. Sorry, Lilleorg. And Santa Kurmista getting involved as well. Goes back to Lilleorg, and a bit of a contact on the mark. Looks like Budinš made a contact with the face of Lilleorg earlier. Uncontested. Lilleorg to Freddy Rava. And a blade in front for a layout by Lilleorg, but unfortunately not able to grab that disc. Budinj picking up, goes to Krumina, back to Budinj. Now another swing to Dudina and Budinj. Once again Dudina on the far sideline. Budinj, center of the field, working near their own end zone, but can't really see any cuts generated there. Good faking and good work through the zone now from Dudina to Pastore. Swing to Budinj. Dudina available, gets the swing. Another blade, Krumina. Nice grab, high grab, and Budinj Mednis finally getting his first touch of this point, and that is for a score. The only touch, but sometimes if you're in the end zone, that's the only one that you need. And that is a nice, quite a grueling score for Ventspils, but still great reception. And nice break, 3-1. Fortunate drop of the hand from Marin Raba, but then Malderis tried to get it to Pastore with a quick break. Unfortunately for Pastore, that was a little bit too far, and Santa Kurmiste was able to get in front and get a better body positioning. And then Santa Kurmiste coast-to-coast shot to Marin Raba for a score. And that is not a clean hold, but it is a hold nonetheless for Saku. Saku still trailing by a couple of breaks, so it is 2-3 in favor of the locals, Ventspils. Ulmas, the youngster getting ready to pull, looks like a little bit too much on that, but Podgorski still decides to grab that and get the offense moving fast. Mikulica and Podgorski so far working through, and Budinj all alone in the end zone. Ulmas looked the other way, and Budinj was able to generate that clean cut into the end zone. So clean hold for Ventspils. Only took them about 10 seconds. Nice and quick ultimate from Ventspils, from both teams actually. So both of the teams are working quite patiently, and always looking for safer options, not really taking any errant throws so far. Mednis with the ball. Normally a player for Salaspils, but taking a break most of this season, deciding to play a little bit more basketball. Always nice to see people crossing over from other sports. Slightly different styles of play. Santa Kurmiste now knocking on the doorstep, and Marin Raba managing to hold on to this disc. It looks like a simultaneous catch from Raba and Budinj. Great defensive pressure. Oof. Or maybe he actually slapped her hand a little bit, so apologetic right away. And all good from Marin Raba. Still a point for Ultimate Saku. Lepik getting ready to pull female matching point. We see 3 female matching players on the field for Saku. Lepik, Marin Raba, and number 10, Untera. Podgorski's blade to Skudra, Skudra blade to Pastore. Looks like there are some questions if that was in or not. Some players are offering. Some players are offering their opinion. We can of course check the replay ourselves. You can decide that. But looks like it's gonna be called in. On the field, good spirits by both teams. Yeah. Well, after a bit of a discussion, it was still called in. So, regardless of that, we're gonna continue play. Pastora was the ball, marking Kurmista. Kurmista fielding, swing to her teammate Lauritz. Lauritz once again with the disc now. Advancing shot to Kurmista, Gert-Kevin Kurmista. Lepik now with the disc, can't really find many options, finds Santa Kurmista and to Gert-Kevin Kurmista all alone in the end zone, but looks like a pick has been called earlier, but not sure if that actually affected anything. Apologies for staying a little bit quiet, as I've been a little bit distracted by Valmiera players telling me about all of their family connections and family members playing in the team. Always interesting to have these facts. But yes, of course, Gert-Kevin Kurmista once again making good on the previous score as the disc went back, but he still managed to get it in the end zone with a high grab. Now Ventspils on the offensive once again. Skudra with the disc, a plate to Podgurskis. Podgurskis looking for options, but goes back to Skudra. Gets a swing off to Nikolica now. Nikolica to Dudina, and Dudina with a blade to Dudinj, once again managing to get away from his defense from Anton Donle. That puts Ventspils into a position to win the first half, 6-4. Ventspils, after taking the early lead, not really conceding that, so a couple of breaks in their favor, including the very first one, I think, in the second point of the game. Malderis with the disc. Pull to Lauric. Now Gert-Kevin Kurmista with the disc. Marin Rava to Gert-Kevin Kurmista. Looking for options. Looks like some contact has been made with the disc. It's gonna be a foul. Accepted. Gert-Kevin Kurmista turns the other way, sees wide open Marin Raba in the end zone, and that is a clean hold once again for Saku. Looks like the game is a little bit more settled, but still Ventspils are a little bit ahead. probably going to put their strongest line to finish off the first half of this semi-final. The winners of this semi-final, of course, going to play for the first place, where Salaspils is waiting for them already with their earlier win against Valmiera. And the losers, of course, going to play against Valmiera for the third and fourth place. Podgorski's swing to Mikulica. She finds Kudra on the near sideline. Needing to go back to their own end zone with Podgorskis, and Podgorskis a scuba to Mikulica and an unfortunate drop. She hands on the face. Can't believe that after making that catch hundreds of times. An unfortunate drop that sometimes happens. Lepik with the disc. Freddy Raba with the disc, looking for options, a lefty player, and into the end zone, but a little bit too high for Robin Lilliork. However, looks like a foul is going to be called, so Robin Lilliork is going to retain the possession, but a pick this time, and a dropped disc from Laura Lepik is going to give the possession to Ventspils.
Great grab from Podgorskis in the end zone. Nice sliding catch. Let's look at that again. Oof. From behind of his mark, as the mark was probably in a better position. And yeah, great spirit by Robin Lilliork to signal that in. And that is the first half. There was a question asked to me if you can retract a pick. You can if the player basically did not stop running, and looks like that was the exact situation what has happened there, because the pick did not really affect the trajectory or the outcome of the whole situation. So yes, in theory you can retract a pick, because pick is a defensive call. So if the team who called it gets the possession as a result of that, you could also call that. It also depends when the disc was released, and looks like it was already in the air in our situation when the pick was called. Normally, if it is before the throw, you would not really retract it, because some of the players would recognize it, but as the players agreed that it did not affect anything, yeah, the pick did not have any effect on the play and the turnover stand. Ventspils picking up few passes, and great grab by Podgorskis to close off the first half. Second half, first pull, Ventspils coming on the defense. Santa Kurmiste gets it to Marin Raba, Lauritz. Now once again to Marin Raba, fancy blade backwards, and Santa Kurmiste to get Kevin Kurmiste. Swing, and another swing. Once again, Marin Raba in the near sideline, asking for a little bit of space from Pastore, who was marking her. Malderis with the mark. And Santa Kurmiste gonna get it into the end zone, but looks like there's gonna be a pick. As some of the players crossing over, we can see that here. Maybe the mark was a little bit too far already, or Not sure. Maybe one of the players felt like there was a bit of a disadvantage over there. Tell us what you think in the comments and in the live chat. Always interesting to hear the opinion of others. It looks like players have decided to send the disc back. And Santa Kurmiste super dump to get Kevin Kurmiste. Marin Raba with the disc. Swing. Advancing pass to Santa Kurmiste. And a blade into the end zone. Just above the outstretched hand of Karlis Mednis, and Gert Kevin Kurmiste going to pick up another offensive score. And another, actually not offensive score, apologies, that was a break, as it is the first point of the second half, and Saku came out on the defense. I think I confused myself, I apologize. No, yeah, Ventspils came off with the defense, so it was a clean hold for Saku. Liliork with the pull. Podgurski's fielding. Swing to Mikulica, back to Podgurskis. And now Skudra. Ooh, a shovel pass to Mikulica. Podgurskis. Swing to Dudinia, back to Podgurskis. Can't really get out of their own half just yet. A lot of pressure from that zone. But Ventspils so far working quite patiently around that zone. Skudra available, the shot is taken. Now a blade to Dudinia. And Dudinia goes into the end zone for Budinc, but
A little bit too high. Maybe not enough form in that disc. Maybe should have been a bit of a more roll curve. But it was more of a flat, high release. So a little too high for Budinc to get. Skudra screaming towards his mark, but not able to generate a defense. And Mikulica, unfortunately, maybe elevated a little bit too late on that disc. And Santa Kurmiste managing to grab the disc out of the air and get a break back for Saku. So we are now at level pegging, 7-7. With 7 and a bit minutes left. How many times I can say 7 in 7 seconds, I don't know. But yes, now even on the score, 7-7.
Saku, after conceding first breaks, now getting a break back and getting level with Ventspils. Podgurskis with the disc. Blade to Malderis. Malderis electing to go sideways, and oh no, that bounces off the hands of Marcis Skudra. I think that is the first drop of the whole tournament for him, as he has been quite a pivotal player for them. Malderis gonna get on the mark on Liliork to Donle. Donle to Raba. Raba. Ooh. Finding Liliork in the end zone, who is taking a bit of a swing on the fence, and nice advancing pass under pressure from Skudra, of course, and a good save for him, and a nice celebration as well.
So Saku pulling ahead. That's their first lead of this game after losing 2-0 in the very beginning. Saku finally finding some breaks and breaking back. and getting it together. So a timeout on the field. I wouldn't be surprised if Ventspils would be the ones who have called that timeout. As of course it's not going to be an easy feat for them now. And looks like they just need some calm heads, calm down, get themselves back into the game and stop the bleeding. Yeah, we appreciate your input as well in the live chats. Always nice to see that you're engaged. And bad call. Some people are saying straight up cheaters from some of the opinions flying around. Players on the field decide that, but it did look like the defense was a little bit too far. And Malderis and Dudina looking at each other. Probably Malderis was in a better position, and Dudina was asking him, why didn't you tell me anything, but you were there? She tried to make a difficult high catch, and that bounces off her hands there. And that gives another opportunity for Saku, which they take for another break. Kurmista to Liliork, and Liliork to Freddy Raba, if that looks to me. Yes, Freddy Raba with the score. So another break. I think second or third break in a row. Some players are switching up for Ventspils side. Looks like Karlis Mednis also getting onto the O-line. Ventspils definitely need to stop the bleeding now. Mikulica, fielding, Krumina, great grab. Budinch now with the disc, and high disc for Pastore, and a hammer to Mikulica. Loads of time, nice give and go. Mikulica, Budinch, and Skudra working the disc around. Skudra trying to jump the disc in, but pushes the defense away in the process of that. No call. So still they're continuing to work the disc. But no new options are generated in the end zone for Ventspils. Budinch, lots of faking, but finally finds Skudra, goes back. Skudra once again a shovel pass. It's an easy grab for them. Krumina getting into the handler space, and Skudra, Budinch. Not many options in the end zone, and looks like Saku is closing the end zone pretty well so far. Pastore asking for the disc a few times, but the throwers were not in the position to throw it just yet, as Pastore is still generating some of the options in the end zone, but can't really find anything. Now too high from Marce Skudra into the end zone for Veronika Mikulica, and that's going to be a turnover. Marce Skudra giving the jumping lessons to Veronika Mikulica on the field, but a timeout this time by Robin Liliork of Saku. This game got pretty hot, and looks like Saku would like to get another point, another defensive break before the end of this game. And with only 1 minute on the clock, it's probably going to be quite crucial and pivotal for them. So I'm going to take a sip of water before the closing stages of the game, and I will see you in a few seconds. The time is over. We are going to finish this point at 1 to the highest score and gonna play to that. So it might be the game 2-10 or game 2-11, depending on who's gonna score first, and that will definitely give an advantage to Saku, regardless of what's going to happen in this point. Great save by Marin Raba. Great awareness, great reaction as well. Santa Kurmista. Swing to Liliorg, and Liliorg into the end zone for Marin Raba, and that is another break. Game 2-11, and the score is 7-10. Looks like Ventspils, after an early defensive pressure and a great first half, looks like, yeah, they maybe relaxed a little bit, but Saku were not ready to give up, and now they have 4 game points on their hands. They can do it here and now if they break, or they will have quite a lot of offensive opportunities after that. Lauritz with the pull. Dudine fielding. Gets it to Podgurskis. Podgurskis. Swing to Mikulica. Back to Podgurskis. Not really marked yet, and now a blade to Dudine, and then Dudine with a hammer into the end zone. Looks like a bit of a contact from Lauritz on Dudine, but no harm done. And good to see that. And Karlis Mednis elevating for the disc and gets a clean hold for Ventspils, and a nice hip celebration from him. Ventspils with the pull. Karlis Mednis hitting the wall, and that will give a much shorter field for Saku. Lauritz gonna bring that disc in and into the end zone. Looks like there's gonna be an offensive foul called on Podgurskis. Liliorg not contesting, so accepted right away by him. So I think a bit of a trip earlier in the possession, so the disc will go back to Liliorg. And interesting what the stall count is going to be. Gonna be stalling 1. Interesting. Should go back to what it was with maximum 7. But Lauritz gets it to Marin Raba. Swing back to Lauritz. Lauritz, difficult grab for Robin Liliorg.
He's looking away because he knows that Marin Raba will grab that disc, and they're gonna get she's gonna get some hugs and some love from Christiana Buldere of Salaspils. So Ultimate Saku are gonna go into the finals and gonna play against Salaspils once again. A rematch of the yesterday's pool play.
Commiserations to Ventspils. They're gonna play for the 3rd and 4th place. After a couple of games, I'm gonna sign off for a couple of games as I'm gonna go warm up for my own game and then play it against Ogra. So don't go anywhere. We're gonna jump into the lower bracket now. Next game, Ventspils Junior against Tartu, and Hyperflick. After that, Hyperflick against Ogre. For consider it a semi-final for the lower part. Great semi-final. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you for getting involved in the live chat. Don't go anywhere and watch more Ultimate. Enjoy your Sunday.